Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to Confusing Bits. I am Corey, and today we're going to have a book review about The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. So this continues in my exploration of the classics that I've been weaving into my reading, and this is one that comes highly recommended quite often, so I figured I'd try this out. This book in particular is, as you can see, it's very fancy. So you've got the gold trim sides and the Art Deco kind of look to it. Oh, was that Francis Scott Key Fitzgerald? Oh, I didn't even know that's how it looked. I read this on Audible, so I haven't actually read through this book, so this is I didn't see that picture whenever I was coming through. It does have the little ribbon in here, but this book here is it's a finger. No, it's not gonna. It's a fingerprint classics. I got it off of Amazon. I've been trying to figure out which formats. We've done different ones. The Penguin Classics. What is this? Wordsworth, and then Everyman's Library. We've been trying different ones to see which ones I want to build a classics collection, and I need to know which books, which collection to start collecting. So we're trying out different ones. This is Fingerprint Publishing one because it looked really cool. Look at the back, has a two-tone like foiling too, right? That's really neat. So that's the physical book. On to the too long, didn't read, didn't watch, or whatever. It's a decent story. I don't regret having read it, but I didn't find it the best story I didn't find it the most enjoyable for me. The type of book that it is maybe not so much for me, but I did not like it. I just didn't. I didn't connect with it in a way that kind of really backed up its recommendation. It seemed like every other person that I saw doing classic book recommendations were recommending The Great Gatsby. So I thought I would enjoy it more just off of the number of recommendations that I saw for this. And for me, it didn't live up to that. Which is, that's going to happen from time to time. But I will say, I'm not going to spoil it, even though it's who knows how old. It's nice. It's written in decent is written in kind of plain language, which is what I prefer. I don't like the really super flowery language. I don't feel like the story was really particularly padded out. Like some authors, they go on and on and on about irrelevant details. This is a nice kind of succinct little story. It's decently encapsulated, and it just goes directly through. I like the way it was told. I just didn't particularly care for the story itself, the plot, so to speak. So, yeah. But I do think it's a decent read. I guess we're going into the real review section here, but it's a decent read. It's not a bad. I didn't think it was a bad read, but for me. There's going to be spoilers in here. I didn't feel like so if you don't want spoilers, you should stop watching now. Let's put it that way. Even though it's an old book, if you don't want spoilers, you're done now. It's a decent book. Probably maybe not for me, but I could see why people recommend it. But going into spoiler territory, I think probably part of the problem is. And I don't think this is because I don't know, maybe at some point it was spoiled for me or some point, but I haven't, going into the back of the book, as soon as they introduced the character or whatever, I had it in the back of my mind that this character was a charlatan, that he wasn't who he said he was. And so that's kind of like the driving plot point is who is Gatsby. what is his past or whatever. So the only really question that I had was like, what is the exact nature of his this shenanigans that led him to his current situation? What is he? How did he get into this situation? What's the backstory? So that was the only really dropping in the book. It goes on and on. I didn't really care that much about any of the characters. I didn't think they were particularly. They seemed kind of like cardboard cutouts, but I don't think they were bad. They were just. There's just not a whole lot of book to do characterization, right? So they were kind of hollow, like caricatures of a person. At least for me. To its credit, it didn't introduce a whole ton of characters like many stories do. Irrelevant characters. It kept the cast kind of. It felt like the cast kind of kept fairly limited, and so it was easy to follow. Like I said, it's an easy read. The language that he uses, I like the way he doesn't use particularly flowery language, but I did like the amount of description that he put into it. I mean, I'm sure there's more precise ways to state how I like his wording on things, but I am not a cultured man, so I will just say that it's descriptive without being overly flowery, which apparently I think I'm beginning to understand that I like. I don't think I like. Judging by some other coming up books that I'm thinking that's becoming a common thing, that I don't like particularly irrelevant language. I like to have plain language and a clear plot, and that's kind of part of my problem with the book is I kind of knew the central. To me, I felt like I knew going through this book, like very early on, that I suspected that this was the central mystery was Gatsby's his history or something like that, and I don't feel like that reveal, when we got to that point, was earth-shattering in any way. I didn't get the feeling that was a big plot revelation, and so most of the time it felt like most of the story was very kind of boring, and like almost like nothing happened up until like the last chapter or something like that. Which, if you've read the story, somebody dies at the end, and it causes the situation to run out of hand, and so that was the only surprise for the moment. I wasn't expecting that, obviously, but I felt like it was working up to a big reveal as far as Gatsby's identity, and that it was a big reveal to reveal him to be otherwise, so there was no. I felt like that was the setup, and since there was no payoff, that's, you need setups and payoffs, and so that's how plot works. And since that didn't work for me, the book kind of fell kind of flat for me. Like I said, I don't think it was bad. I felt like I did not feel like my time was wasted reading this. I am happy that I have read it. I've got that little peach part of popular canon, actually firmly placed in my mind. Somebody talks about references to Great Gatsby, I know exactly what they're talking about nowadays. And that's the beauty of learning, of reading the classics, is being able. So I can finally do that at the age of, I don't know, 43. I know what people talk about when they talk about the Great Gatsby. I haven't seen the movie. I should probably see the movie. It had the Titanic actor, Leonardo or Leonard, or I could see his face. I should probably watch it, but I just haven't gotten around to it. Anyway, it was I'm not going to I'm not gonna say it was a bad book. It was just not quite the book for me, but I could understand why people liked it, and I don't regret having read it. It was a good story. I felt like it respected my time as a reader, and yeah. So overall, I would say it was a good book, especially for the right person. So this one's going to be short and sweet. We're only 10 minutes in. I didn't jibber jabber for 15 minutes or 30 minutes. What is this? But yeah, so yeah, this was The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Coming up next, do I want to do that one next? Yeah. No. Well, see, there's just two technical books that I'm probably going to do as side books, because I think the next one will probably be The Picture of Dorian Gray, which technically I think I have about another hour to go to finish this one up. So it should be done tomorrow. Which I think this schedule takes us all. I think this video is probably going to be mid-August, like August. What's the last one here? October, not August. The last one is October 8th, so this will be like October 15th coming out, probably. Yeah. It's August 19th for reference, so we're a couple of months ahead, right? Yeah, I guess that'll be it for this one. I'm rambling at this point. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next week.